A very good morning to all of you. So I'm back again after the previous class which I took on Saturday, and that time, just to make you aware of what we had done and just to recollect, we had seen the theoretical analysis of distance and displacement in rest and motion. I said that rest and motion, these terms are never absolute. It is always with respect to some observer whom in the language of physics we call as a reference frame. And based on the reference frame, whenever a particle or an object changes its position, we say that it is in motion, provided the change in motion is continuous. Okay, it is continuously changing. And if the position does not change, we say it is at rest. And when we find the change in position between 2 points, then I said that between 2 points there are infinite possibilities or infinite paths which you can follow. So whichever path you have selected, the total length of that path will be called as the distance traveled. Whereas there will be a single straight line which will be joining the 2 points, and the length of this straight line is known as the magnitude of displacement. The shortest path which is possible between 2 points is what we call as displacement, magnitude. And displacement, I said, is a vector quantity which has a fixed direction. From where to where? Always from the initial to the final position. You join them by a straight line, that will be denoted as displacement. Now displacement being a vector quantity, we represent a vector quantity by an arrow, right? And towards the end, as I remember, I told that if you select your initial direction of motion and final position is on the opposite side of the initial, so we will say that displacement is negative. If final position is on the same side as the initial direction of motion, then you say displacement is positive. And if you return back to your initial position, we will say displacement is 0. So displacement can be positive, negative as well as 0. Whereas distance on the other hand does not have any fixed direction. Direction is of no relevance or meaningless. Whatever length you have traveled, the whole length of the path which you have selected, that will be called as distance. I hope this is also clear. And distance is a scalar quantity, always positive, never decreases. The traveled distance keeps on increasing. You go forward, backward, to and fro, or any path, your traveled length will keep on increasing with time. So distance is always taken positive, displacement can be positive, negative or 0. I hope whatever I just made what to say, a short form of whatever, in a nutshell we can say whatever we studied in the last class, I just spoke about that once again. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I'll just wait for a quick response from your end that these were the things which I discussed in last class and I again in short told about it. So I'll wait for a quick response from your end. Is this clear, this much, so that we can move to the numerical aspects? I think the chat is not loading, or okay, fine. So there was a technical issue over here for seeing the chat. Fine, now I can see your responses. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for responding. So now we move on to some calculations based on distance and displacement. So we start with So you can see 10 meter and 2 meter lengths have been marked and there is a straight line path. So here there is a person who is standing. So initially he is at A. So the question is that if the man goes from A to B, then from B to C, so if we see this particular question, there is a man and he is moving from A to B, then from B to C, then from C to B and back to C, and find the total displacement and distance. So as we have already discussed earlier about distance and displacement yesterday in Saturday's class, basic question first I am taking. So I'll quickly wait for your responses and see what is the displacement and what is the distance. Tell both the values. Right. Displacement is 10 meter. And what about distance, beta? What will be the distance? Fine. So it is a very simple question because I have just to see the initial and final. You started with initial position here and finally after making whatever movements, they have used the word C is the final position. So initial direction of motion is this one. He moved like this and you can see the final position is in the same direction. So this will be your displacement. So this is nothing but 10 meter and that too positive. Why positive? Because it is in the initial, the final position is in the same direction as the initial direction of motion. So displacement will be plus 10 meter. Now as far as distance is covered, distance always gets added. So you just keep on seeing, first you move from A to B, then you moved from B to C, then you came from C to B and again back. So AB length is nothing but 12, BC length is nothing but 2, you can see. So this is 18 meter, correct. So this was a basic question. We will just now move to the next one. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay. Now, fine, 18 meter. Moving on to the next one. So here we have a straight line path, then we have a semicircular path, and again a straight line path. So if this person who again was standing over here now starts moving like this, goes along AB, then follows this path and then goes horizontally like this. So again, what is the total distance and also the displacement from A to D? Beta, how we can find the displacement and distance? Some of the students are again wasting their time and also they are disturbing other students. It would be better, if you are not interested in the class, kindly you can leave the class and you can continue your chats elsewhere. Otherwise, just focus over here presently. So when we talk of the total distance, as I said, distance doesn't matter whether you are taking straight line path or curved line path, you will always have to add all. Fine. So distance is simply AB plus whatever you have turned arc length, BC, arc length, and CD, straight line. So you will directly say it is 10, BC arc length is 12.56 and CD is 5. So this will become 15 plus, so this will become 27.56 meter. Yes, but what about the displacement? So this one to everyone can say, fine. Now let's see displacement, how many are giving correct answer? Okay, some are saying displacement is 19 meter and only 3 or 4, rest no answers, no response. Let's see. When we say displacement, we will say the straight line path, shortest path. It is straight line path means AB plus BC plus CD. Just the initial and final position. You have to just check this. Initial and final position, which you started from A, B, C and final is D. So this length we know is 10 meter. This length we know is 5 meter. Now what about BC? What I can do is, suppose I take the radius as R. If radius is R, so you can see BC is a semicircle, so its length will become 2R. So my answer will be AB plus CD. AB plus CD is 15 and BC is 2R. Now how to get the radius? Very simple. If you see the semicircle, in this semicircle, this being radius, semicircle length is pi r and pi r is given to me as 12.56. So if pi r is 12.56, that means r is 12.56 by pi, and we know the value of pi is 3.14. So if you multiply by 4, you can see radius comes as 4 meter. So if radius is 4 meter, then BC will become 8, 4 2s are 8, so 15 plus 8, 23. So that's why I was waiting for correct answer. I said that few are answering 19 just to check whether others also, without thinking properly, they are also just repeating the answer or they are actually solving. Yes, 23 meter, few options I got correct answers. So here radius, you can see 2r is your BC value. This BC straight line length, not the arc length, is 2r. This is 2r. So 2r you have to find. R is, pi r is 12.56. So if pi r is 12.56, that means r will be 4. So if r is 4, BC is 2r. So here we get the total answer as 23 meter. I'll be again waiting for a quick response from you all. Did you get this calculation? Please respond fast so that we can move on to the next. So is this okay? You can take screenshot, note, you can note down later if you have not noted it now. So just it is okay, fine. So we'll move to the next one. Now next question that we have is, we have a circular path and a particle starts from the point A and starts moving and reaches a point B, and .240 angle, you can see he has turned from A to B. Now rest of the path is not complete. He is starting from A and he is coming to B. So rest of the circle is not completed. He is only from A to B he has come. So question is again, find the distance and displacement from A to B for the path followed. So it is a circular path given. So for this, what we can simply use is, everyone should listen to me carefully. Whenever we have any circular arc, we have discussed this earlier also, if we have an arc of theta angle and radius is r, then this arc length that we turn, L, is equals to r theta. L is called arc length, and we have discussed theta here you have to take in radians. So L is equals to r theta, this will become the arc length and this gives you the distance. This part will give you the distance. But if you see this displacement, the shortest distance, if I take this distance, this one, if I mark this as AB, so L is equals to r theta, it is the arc length, AB arc. But if you see the straight line AB, this can be written as 2r sine theta by 2. So for any circular arc, kindly remember this very important result. When you have a circular arc, the length that you are traveling, shortest, which is the displacement, is 2r sine theta by 2, whereas distance is the arc length, which is r theta. So here 2r sine theta by 2, how we got this? The result is simple. See how? If I take this as A and B and you are taking this is r, total angle is theta. You can see it is an isosceles angle. So if it is isosceles angle, suppose this is O. Now total angle theta, so half angle will be theta by 2. This half will be also theta by 2. So when you apply trigonometry, this is perpendicular, this part is perpendicular, This is hypotenuse. So perpendicular by hypotenuse is sine theta. So this becomes r sine, what is the angle? Theta by 2. Similarly, this also becomes r sine theta by 2. So whenever they ask you for a circular arc, what is the distance of the straight line joining the 2 points? It is 2r sine theta by 2. And if they say the arc length or the distance covered, it is simply r theta. So this, for any question you can use it. So now coming back to this question, if you see in the given question, how much angle you have turned? Theta, this value you can see is 240 degree. 240 degree, if you can convert in radians, we have seen 240 by 180, this will come in radian. So 6364. So if you see, obviously pi also, so 4 pi by 3 radian. So 4 pi by 3 radian is theta. So distance is nothing but the arc length covered from A to B, which will become r into theta, that is 4 pi r by 3. 4 pi r by 3. You cannot use pi r square beta. For length you will not use pi r square. How can you use pi r square? That is, pi r square is area. For length you use 2 pi r. है ना? Yes, definitely you can use that. You can use by unitary method also. Alternately you can say, when you have 360 degree, alternately 360 degree is 2 pi r. So 240 degree will be 2 pi r into 240 by 360. By this also you will get same, 4 pi r by 3. Definitely you can do that. Don't use pi r square. Okay. So here distance is 4 pi r by 3. But as far as displacement is concerned, displacement is the initial, this was your initial position and this is your final position. You have to just join this one. This one will give you the displacement. Understood? This line will give you the displacement. I am showing it. This is the displacement. So for this, I need to focus on this and this. Now if this is 240 degree, that means this angle will become 120 degree. So from here, if I want to find displacement, this is O, A and B. So this is the displacement, R, theta is 120. So I said S displacement can be written as 2R sine theta by 2. So 2R, theta is 120, so sine 60. So 2R sine 60, and sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So you will get this as root 3R. So displacement is root 3R and distance covered is 4 pi r by 3. Is it clear? Please check it fast. So distance and displacement, these two values we have calculated. I have written on the right hand side. Those who are not paying attention, just doing rubbish talks, they won't be able to understand anything. Rather, if you are seeing over here on the right side what I have written, the distance covered is r theta, where theta is the angle in radian. We have discussed in previous class what is theta, convert in degree or radian. You know that. Now comes displacement. Displacement is 2r sine theta by 2. Theta is the total angle you are seeing over here. Displacement is from A to B, this part. This is the angle 120 degree. So I will use 120 as theta here. So 2r sine theta by 2 means 2r sine 60. For distance, the theta is not 120. For distance, you are going like this. Distance you are going from above. So 240 degree. Please, I think there is someone called with a Japanese name or whatever, Hakai Shin or whatever. You can see what I am writing. So focus on that instead of typing unnecessarily. So here when we are taking distance, we are taking the complete bigger arc. So the angle is 240 degree for distance. There I am converting it into radians and I am writing. If you don't want to convert in radian, you can use unitary method also. By 360 degree you cover 2 pi r. So in 240 degree how much you will cover? By unitary method you will get 4 pi r by 3. This is done. Now for displacement, the angle is 120 because displacement is this part, shortest. So for this 120, so when we have an isosceles triangle, r third side will become 2r sin theta by 2. So 2r sin 60, which is root 3r. Okay. So now we move on to some other concepts. These I think are clear. Okay. So now we move to what we call as speed and velocity. So after distance and displacement, we move to speed and velocity. Students like, I don't know whether your students are also not, Venki, Kalyan and some others who are, instead of attending to the class, they are busy talking to other students or girls. It would be better that you stop such activities or simply you will be removed from the class or chat. So if you don't want to study, kindly don't waste the times of other. I am taking names also for the students, Vara Lakshmi and collaborator gamers and all. These students, they will be simply removed from the chat and it will be ensured that you don't come back to the classroom. Kindly let others study. So here we have speed and velocity. So speed and velocity. Now these terms, can anyone tell what is the difference between the term speed and velocity? Just a short answer I'll be expecting from you all. What is speed and what do you understand by velocity? What is the difference between speed and velocity? Velocity has direction. Speed doesn't have any direction. Velocity and speed. Okay. So will it be correct to say that velocity magnitude is speed? Is it a correct definition or not? Fine, speed is scalar, velocity vector, correct. But will it be correct to say that speed is magnitude of velocity? Can I say that the magnitude of velocity is speed? No. If I am saying so, I am wrong. The magnitude of velocity is not always the speed. So from here, we will see something new from what you have studied till class 10th. You will see something. Never say, if anyone asks you that sir, speed is distance by time and velocity is displacement by time. Never say such words. Now you are in class 11th, so you will not use such terms. Instead, we will use the terms called rate of change. So it is not that velocity is always displacement by time and speed is always distance by time. So speed and velocity are simply defined as, speed is the rate of distance traveled with respect to time. And obviously this speed is a scalar quantity. It is the rate at which distance is traveled with time. Whereas when we talk of velocity, it is the rate of displacement with respect to time. So with time, how much you are getting displaced, that rate is called as velocity, and obviously it is a vector quantity. Now, when we talk of a rate, you should know any rate of change is of two types. First, we call it as average rate, and second, we call it as instantaneous rate. So there are two types of rate of change. One is called as an average rate and one is called as an instantaneous rate. Whenever we are finding the rate in a particular time interval, in a gap or interval, then that is called average, on an average. But whenever we are looking at every instant, we call it as instantaneous rate. So average rate, this pertains to the calculation being done, or it is calculated over a certain interval. And when we are talking of instantaneous rate, this is calculated at an instant. Now, when we are having average rate, suppose we are talking of speed or velocity, whenever we are having average, we are calculating over a certain certain interval, and instantaneous is calculated at a certain instant. Now, the formula for instantaneous is obtained by what we call as a method called differentiation, which is a part of mathematics which you will be studying in the days to come, which is called as calculus. In calculus, we have a concept of differentiation. So this instantaneous rate, presently we cannot, because we have not studied differentiation. I have studied, but you have not studied differentiation yet. So when you will study differentiation, you will know the method of calculating this. And I will tell you example of the difference between these two right now. This is found by a method called differentiation in calculus. So this we find by differentiation, which we will study later. It is an application of calculus. Average rate directly is found by, when we are finding average rate, we simply say it is equals to change in one physical quantity divided by change in other quantity. So when you divide two changes, change in one quantity divided by change of other quantity, then you get what is called as average rate. And when we are having instantaneous, it will be found by the method of differentiation in calculus, which have to be studied later on. Presently, we are just focused on what is called as average rate, which is found by change in one physical quantity by change in other quantity. So when we say average speed, it is simply the total distance, total change in position, total length traveled, which is called as total distance traveled, and when you divide it by total time taken, then what we call is average speed. We call it average speed. Yes, those who have read a bit of calculus, they know that differentiation, what is differentiation, but presently we will be focusing only on this part. Average speed, it is the total displacement distance traveled by total time taken. Whereas when we talk of velocity, so when we define average velocity, this is total displacement by total time taken. So when we consider an interval, then we are getting average. Sataru Goju, who is not interested, beta, if you are not interested, you can immediately leave the class and you can make yourself entertained everywhere, because let me reveal this secret before you, that NEET 2028 actually they have removed physics, chemistry, biology, botany, zoology, everything has been removed. I'll be naming the student again, Sataru Goju. Okay, for you beta, there is a good news. They have removed everything, physics, chemistry, biology, everything has been removed. So if you need to qualify NEET and get the first rank and directly get admitted, what you need to do simply, such students, you simply need to just open your chats and talk with each other, waste your time, okay, entertain yourself, and directly for that you will be getting marks. It is a different thing that if you overdo that, then might be you may get admitted to AIMS colleges, not as a doctor but as a patient, for too much using of internet, for wasting your time, chatting, writing unnecessary stuff, right? So that can play with your brain, and might be you get admitted in AIMS college, and you will be proudly saying your friends and dear ones that see I am in AIMS, but not as a doctor, as a patient, undergoing treatment of how to get rid of wasting time in internet. Okay. So such smart students who have another gateway for AIMS colleges, they can better leave the class and you can form a group or somewhere, you can talk and you can easily waste your time and successfully get admitted to the best college of our country. And I would recommend that do so that you get directly into AIMS. If you go to local, say unauthorized medical colleges where students like you were doctors, so might be there is a chance or risk that they may do some other type of treatment or may remove some organs. Okay, so better that waste your time and go to the best medical college and hospital of our country, that is AIMS. And others, those who are sincerely studying, best of luck beta, you definitely will get your goal, you will become doctors and you will have that prestigious opportunity of treating such students. Okay, so coming back, I hope this much. Are I am not angry. Who is this? Rono Azaro. I am not angry. I am very happy for you. I am very happy for you. At least by whichever way you enter into the AIMS college, that is more important. Whether you go by becoming a doctor or go by becoming a patient, the final aim should be to get into AIMS college. That's it. So why should I be angry or something? You waste your time. So here, average speed, average velocity. Now, once we say that total distance by total time and total displacement by total time, let's quickly take again a small response from all of you, that can anyone say that what will be the relation between the magnitude of average velocity and average speed? Will they be equal or will they be unequal? Can anyone tell that the magnitude of average velocity and the magnitude of average speed, will they be same or different? That's what I'm asking. Are the two same? They are unequal, correct beta? Why? Because average velocity is displacement by time and average speed is distance by time. So average velocity and average speed are not same because displacement and distance are not always same. So you should know very important point. What is that? Average velocity first of all is a vector quantity. Note, average velocity magnitude is less than the average speed if path is not a straight line. So when the path is not a straight line, so distance will be more than displacement. So if path is not a straight line or direction of motion changes. So whenever you see that the path is not a straight line but a curved path and the direction of motion is changing, in such case average velocity will be less than average speed. Whereas, but only in one case, the magnitude of average velocity will be same as average speed. That is, when you move along a straight line path, if you are moving along a straight line path and not even changing your direction, without changing direction. Why so? Because in that case displacement and distance will become the same. When you are in a straight line path, you are not changing the direction, displacement and distance are same. Otherwise, you know that displacement is called the shortest distance. So in other cases, the magnitude of displacement will be less than distance. So average speed and average velocity, they are not always equal. They are not always equal, but only in one case they are equal, that is mentioned here. Is it clear? Yes, correct. Very good. Average speed is always greater than equal to magnitude of average velocity. Very good. So this is correct answer. Okay. Now let me come back to another thing. Instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity magnitude. Now what will you comment about these two? Instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity magnitude. Above we saw the relation between average speed and average velocity magnitude. Now let's see, beta, this symbol, this I am using mod. Mod is for magnitude. So magnitude of displacement, sir, explain slowly. I am explaining very slowly, provided you need to tune your frequency with me, you will be definitely able to understand things. And I have told those who take some time to learn, some are slow learners, some are quick learners, no issue with that. If you did not understand any point in the class, since we have a limited time for the classroom, live classroom, so whatever things you could not understand beta, later on in your free time, you can always, go to that particular moment of the video, just hear it again. And you know very well, in YouTube you have this option of changing the speed also. So you can make the speed 0.5x, and when you make the speed 0.5x, now what a coincidence, we are talking of speed and velocity and I am telling you about 0.5x speed in YouTube also. So 0.5x, you can easily listen and you can understand that yes, what is being told. At that time you can make notes of that also. So this thing I am repeatedly telling class after class. If you are not able to understand anything in a class, just after the class is over, the whole day when you are free, just open that video, go to that particular section, listen with speed say 0.5x or 0.25x, and then make note of whatever you want to by pausing the video. So it is a very easy and available option for all of you. Okay. So now let's come back. Now here I was talking about instantaneous. The velocity of body at particular instant is called, yes, correct. These two are always same. There is no doubt about this. This is always true. The magnitude of instantaneous velocity is always called as the instantaneous speed. So these are theoretical questions which should be clear to everyone. Average velocity in general, average velocity magnitude in general is less than equals to average speed, whereas instantaneous speed and magnitude of instantaneous velocity are always the same. Is it clear? Okay. Now beta, I said that instantaneous is obtained by a method called differentiation, which we are definitely in a few days, I think just within 2 or 3 lectures we will be seeing differentiation. Don't worry about that. But just telling, I told in the beginning that what is the difference between average speed or average velocity or instantaneous speed, instantaneous velocity. Let me try to make this clear with an example. I'll try my level best. Just give me few moments so that you can listen to me and understand the difference. Suppose you start from your home. Now you think that you have to go to say a nearby place, say 10 kilometers away, 10 kilometers away, right? So you take your scooty or bike, whatever you have, okay? So you start and you reach that place. You start and reach that place in say 2 hours. Now you may think that, sir, what you are telling, 10 kilometers, 2 hours, crowded, very busy place. So now tell me that 10 kilometers you travel, or leave 10 kilometers, make it say 100 kilometers, make it 100. So you went to another city 100 kilometers away and you took 2 hours. You started at 12 o'clock and you reached there at 2 o'clock, right? So if I ask you what is your speed, what will you say? Again I am repeating my question, listen carefully. 100 kilometers I took my bike, I went to other city, and from 10 o'clock I started, at 12 o'clock I reached there, or 12 o'clock I started, 2 o'clock I reached there, means I took 2 hours. So if I ask you what is my speed, what will you say? Correct, 50 kilometer per hour, you will say that it's 50 kilometer per hour. Now I am changing my question. Now I will say that is this my average speed or instantaneous speed? Is this my average speed or instantaneous speed? Everyone is telling 50 kilometer per hour. Now let's quickly answer the second part of my question. It is average or instantaneous? Correct, one correct answer I got. Yes, yes, correct, correct. It is average. Why it is average? Because this I calculated by the total distance traveled by total time taken. So there is an interval, there is a gap of 2 hours in which I covered this total distance. 100 kilometer in 2 hours, so it is my average. I think Bhagya Lakshmi, instantaneous, you are absolutely wrong. Okay, so some are absolutely wrong. There are others also who are absolutely wrong. Instantaneous, who are writing instantaneous, they are wrong. Now let me come back. Fine, now you can stop your responses. I got it. It's average. So average speed is always calculated in a time frame or time gap or time interval. So in 2 hours, right? Now, if I ask you at any instant while I was going, was this the speed which I continuously maintained? Was it the instant, any instant, was it the same speed every time? Think that you are going on a bike. Will you be able to maintain 50 kilometer per hour right from the time you start from your house? From there to the city, continuously you are moving at 50. Is it so? Are you moving at 50 kilometer per hour? The answer is no. At every instant your speed may change. Might be possible. So I think Venkat, Sai, Subhas, your time is up for the upcoming classes also. Goodbye to you. Okay, fine. Now let's come back here. So we are saying that at every instant the speed will be different. Might be somewhere the road is overcrowded, you are moving at say 10 kilometer per hour or 5 kilometer per hour. And might be possible that where the road is free, there is no traffic, you will be moving faster. You may attain speeds of 90 also. But on an average, when you make the average, the value changed and became 50. Understood? It is just like you are writing 10 tests. One test you are getting 10 marks, one test you are getting 100 marks, one test you are getting 70, 60, like this. So out of 10 tests, your final average performance, when you take the average, that is the final result being made, that on an average you performed like this. Similarly, at every instant your speed was different. So the speed at any instant, suppose you are writing and suppose at a particular instant you want to know what is your instantaneous speed. Is there any provision by which we can check our instantaneous speed? Whoever is this, Janu Gantla, keep on listening to me. If you could not understand, later on in the video, by pausing, you can hear this. Okay. Now, can anyone tell that if while riding the bike or scooty, if you want to check that what is my instantaneous speed, what is my speed at any particular instant? The moment I think I want to see, is any way or provision available with me if I am riding a bike? What is that? Please tell fast. Janu Gantla, don't waste your time in unnecessarily typing the same thing again and again. So here, yes, correct beta. Speedometer, very good. So there is a device known as speedometer which is available in any bike, car, scooty, everywhere. Okay. So someone is telling no. That means that you have never been on a bike, scooty or car. You have throughout either followed your own legs or just on a bicycle. Okay, fine. So now speedometer is the device by looking at which you can know what is your instantaneous speed. So this speedometer would be based on some mathematical concept. So that mathematical concept which calculates and shows or displays your instantaneous speed is called as differentiation. By the method of differentiation, we can calculate the rate of change of position at every instant, which will give you your velocity. And when you take the magnitude of that velocity at that particular instant, it will be called your instantaneous speed. So when you are moving along a particular direction, you are having velocity. And that velocity at any instant can be measured by a speedometer. And speedometer displays the magnitude of that velocity, and we call that magnitude as instantaneous speed. So while driving, suppose at any instant you look at the speedometer, it shows 70 km per hour. It is your instantaneous speed. It changes suddenly to 80, 90, 40, 30, 20, 50. These are instantaneous speed values which may keep on fluctuating depending on how you are riding. But on an average, when you cover the entire journey, whatever final distance traveled divided by total time, that will be called as the average speed. I hope this is clear to all of you. So we will be stopping our class over here, and in next class we will be seeing numericals on average speed and average velocity, how to use this in questions. Kindly listen carefully to the video again once when you are free, and those who are sincerely following our classes, it would be a request to you, as we keep on doing, do share with your friends and ask them also, so that they can also come and listen over here. As far as students who are just wasting time in how are you, anyone from this place, anyone from that place, or involving in chats, unnecessary chats, I would again with folded hands request that beta, your parents are too much concerned about you, so kindly don't ruin their dreams. They are dreaming that our children, they will become successful doctors. So better that you don't waste your time. Simply when you are in a class, it may be of no use to some of you, but if you are into the class, at least pay attention, at least think about your parents. So gradually later on you will be understanding things very easily. The initial part, the basic part, for some of you it may seem that array, it is so easy, I know everything, but that I know everything will suddenly depress you when later on you will forget the basics. So I am saying to everyone, I am not here to unnecessarily troll or roast you, these Gen Z words which we generally use nowadays. I am not into that, but only for your betterment, for your benefit I am saying, if you are into the class, kindly focus on what is being taught, not only in my class, for every classes. You will be able to understand, and once you join and come over here, definitely in your respective classes, the basic will be clear, so any tough concept you will understand easily. So that would be all. Yes, instantaneous speed, I said beta, that we'll be seeing differentiation, that is a method by which we can calculate this. Okay, Venki Kalyan, I hope, because today you wasted a lot of your own time as well as of others, you don't do the same next day. So thanks a lot and have a good day.